Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up, guys? The unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and in this video we have a new exciting tease and some new insight from Rosario Dawson herself, who takes on Ahsoka within live action in her own solo Disney Plus series there as well. Some new teases and anticipations that we have here for Ahsoka Season 2 hitting the streamer sometime in the near future. Of course, we're going to go ahead, we're going to break it all down for you guys, everything that we know and everything that we're anticipating right now. Before we do though, however, grab that subscribe button if you haven't already, as we're discussing and covering all types of Star Wars related news, leaks, rumors, theories, and breakdowns here on the channel. So if you guys are into any of that, go ahead and grab that subscribe button today. In this video, we are going to be taking a quick read from CBR.com. I'll have their article linked in the description down below for you guys to check out there as well as an overall garnering source. As they read, the Ahsoka star Rosario Dawson herself has recently opened up about her character's journey in the next upcoming installment of her own hit Disney Plus series, self-titled Ahsoka, of course. Rosario Dawson made her Star Wars debut as the live-action version of the titular Jedi character over nearly 3 years ago during the second season of The Mandalorian, and she is finally having her own solo outing on the streamer just this past fall as a massive success loved by the fans and the critics alike. It's due for its second season sometime in the near future. What we're looking at is somewhere in late of 2025, early 2026 is where we're expecting to see Ahsoka Season 2. So, recently, Rosario Dawson has reunited with Star Wars vet Hayden Christensen himself for a half-hour-long interview with the SAG-AFTRA Foundation. During the said interview, Rosario Dawson had really expressed her excitement to be able to continue playing the character of Ahsoka and having Ahsoka Tano's journey within Ahsoka Season 2 as well. Where it goes from where it was in Season 1, I think, is really just the big part of it. Like, that really just is it, kind of. Also, really, especially when the character is now more at peace with her past and what's gone on in her past, especially as well, is something that was widely explored and widely discovered in Ahsoka Season 1, having met with her former master, Anakin Skywalker, in the World Between Worlds, arguably also having him in those Clone Wars, like, holograms, looking back on those as well. And then also arguably, even though she doesn't directly meet him, I think that a lot of fans can agree that there's this sense that her former master, Anakin Skywalker, is looking over her as a Force ghost presence kind of entity, essentially. I would also argue that isn't the same version of Anakin that we see in the World Between Worlds as we see him in the kind of Force ghost version in the other galaxy on the planet of Peridia. Let me know what you guys think about that there in the comments down below. So Rosario Dawson reveals and says more, in quote, "It just was so great to be able to see her get that lightness back, and it makes me very excited for Season 2, she says. She continues by saying, and being able to explore even more as she's made more peace with her past, where she can kind of look more into the future and again face those particular challenges. Ending that quote right there. Of course, that's the big thing. That's the big revolution and kind of revolving point of Ahsoka Season 1, is finding that peace with her past and her past versions of herself, arguably even there as well, because there's a lot of trauma that goes on in her past throughout her childhood, even, you know, being in the Clone Wars and all of that, of course, with the animated show, all of that kind of going on, everything that goes on with Star Wars Rebels and all of those events, and also not to mention everything that goes on with her own former master, Anakin Skywalker, falling to the dark side, becoming Darth Vader, the rise of the Empire. There is a lot of, you know, kind of like trauma and self critiquing, I guess we can say, that goes on with her over the years as all of that's kind of gone on. So the Ahsoka show especially, I think, is at a kind of smoothing out point, especially after the events of the original trilogy with Return of the Jedi, after the events of the Galactic Civil War, after the fall of the Empire, really is where we come to a smoothing point, and there just isn't really any major conflict finally going on in the galaxy and in this universe, where she's able to finally just take a minute and sit back and kind of just reflect on pretty much everything that's gone on in her life up until that point. I would also argue it's also for a fact of that her past is something that she struggles with, of course, that's a given, but her past is something that gets in the way of her moving forward and looking into the future, what other adventures and other challenges are going to come her way in the future, looking to the future and being able to prepare for that, essentially. Now, Rosario Dawson adds more and says, in quote, "That's the thing I love about Star Wars. You're constantly conflicted. You're constantly provoked, you know? And just because she's kind of come to a different kind of understanding for herself doesn't mean that she won't be tested again." And it'd be so cool to see her, doing it from the space now where she's got her very own Padawan. She's made a lot of peace with her mentor, and she has a more kind of confidence, I think, in herself and what she's chosen thus far in the journey, ending that quote right there. I think this is a great point here as well. It's reflection into not just herself, really. I think it's coming to more of an understanding and more of to at peace what went on with others. Her own mentor, Anakin Skywalker, as I had mentioned, is really the big one at large. The fall of him turning to the dark side, becoming Darth Vader, with the rise of the Empire and everything else that kind of transpires and kind of unfolds, and domino effects, really, essentially, from that there as well. Of course, Ahsoka leaving the Jedi Order, she blames herself massively for the fall of Anakin to the dark side, even though we probably all know that that isn't the final straw. That isn't necessarily the exact moment or the exact reason why he falls to the dark side. The point being that there just really isn't one. There's a lot of multiple things that goes on that, of course, contribute to the factor of Anakin Skywalker's fall to the dark side and his rise in power to the Empire and everything of that nature. So I also think that there's going to be some exploration, a little bit less, though, however, than we see with season 1 of Ahsoka. I think that Ahsoka season 2, in coming to peace, is going to focus more on her character herself. She isn't really kind of fixated or looking to come to resolutions and conclusions, essentially, or coming to peace with others, more so really just herself. The Ahsoka show itself hails from Lucasfilm's COO, Chief Creative Officer Dave Filoni himself, who is also the show's creator and the creator of the character of Ahsoka as well. Some other tidbits that we know about the show, and for its second season as of right now, is that the series is currently taking on Natasha Liu Bordizzo as Sabine Wren, Iman Esfandi as Ezra Bridger, Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Hera Syndulla, Ivano Scanao as Shin Hati, and Lars Mikkelsen as Grand Admiral Thrawn, who are all also expected to return for season 2. Despite the late Ray Stevenson's passing last year, Lucasfilm has previously released a season 2 concept art teasing the villain's potential return, of course, as well. And then we had also recently talked about here on the channel is that it does look like Lucasfilm is actually in favor of wanting to recast the character of Baylan Skoll. So we'll look forward to that, and we'll continue to keep you guys updated with all of that here on the channel. Not just that, but all types of Star Wars related news, leaks, rumors, theories, and breakdowns here on the channel. So if you guys are into any of that, go ahead and grab that subscribe button today. Guys, it's here all being said, I would love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been an official Star Wars. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.